After an emotional and exhaustive week, I'm sure Adam Goodes was delighted to get out on the ground for the Swans against the Bombers tonight. And after a slow start, he started to really have some impact in that second quarter. Maybe a little bit of a guilty look there after he took the mark. The umpire gave it the ticket. A little wink and a nod from Adam Goodes. The goal taking the Swans to an 18-point lead. And sometimes you can forget about what a great player he is on the ground. Well, Mike Sheehan pays this tribute to Adam Goodes.
Lockett, Kelly, O'Loughlin, Kirk, Healy, Williams, Roos and Hall. Immortal names, all of them, in the rich history of the Sydney Swans. To that list, add the name of Adam Goodes, one of the rare breed to win legend status while still building on his contribution to his football club. Goodes is a towering figure on the football landscape of recent years and a giant among Swans. He is the only player in the history of the game with a CV that includes 300 games, 400 goals, 2 premierships, 2 Brownlow medals and the captaincy of his club. Even now, with no hint of retirement on the horizon, he is the games record holder in Sydney with 329, which ranks equal 21st in the 117-year history of the AFL. He is an inspiring leader on 2 fronts, as a Swan and as a brilliant, bold, courageous Indigenous player. The shy youngster who has grown into a commanding figure over 15 years. In the 2012 Grand Final, he led in the truest sense of the word, playing injured as a co-captain, then kicking the goal that put the Swans 7 points clear in the last quarter, on the way to their epic 10-point win. Opinions will vary as to who has made the most profound contribution to the Swans in their time in Sydney. Safe to say, none has done more for the red and white cause than the man in the number 37 Guernsey.
Hooker.
Oh, that's a dangerous kick.
He rolls it right.
That's it, got up in the back.
Myers misfires the handball. Has to go and retrieve the situation. Didn't really make it much better. Yeah, but they eventually work it though to half forward. Oh, they almost got caught in each other's way, but Belchambers stayed afloat and he's taken the mark and he is a goal kicker.
No, this is an important kick. He's looking around. He's got to go back and just make sure he kicks this for the Bombers. Gets them right back in the contest. Low-scoring match.
Yep.
Marks inside 50 have come at the premium tonight. He judged it a little bit better. Just giving the ball a wipe with the jumper. I don't know how much that's going to dry it, given how wet the jumper would be, but massive kick this for Essendon.
13-4 for the season for Tom Belchambers. Till tonight, and that one is through. What a connection, and what a goal for the Bombers. And the Bombers now play 7-8. McVeigh quick to take an opening look. Jetta.
I saw it.
Oh, he did too.
He just slipped. He saw Jetta going.
That was the perfect slingshot. There was nobody behind him. It was kicking to space over the back and letting Jetta run onto it.
Goodes found a way to get it to Bird.
Oh, another shank.
They were trying to get it to Jetta, but away it went. Stanton. Goddard, Stanton comes again. Relentlessly, he's pushing the Bomber cause across the common. Now it's really opened up ahead, just inside the 50. Myers can go back and have this shot.
Hey, look, he'll kick from just outside 50, but that's not a factor for David Myers. He's an enormous kick. So at the big left leg, it's all going to come down to accuracy. We spoke earlier about taking your chances. Sydney's kicked 7-8, Essendon 4 goals 9. So they've just wasted too many opportunities. These set shots, got to make them count. We saw Belchambers kick a beauty a couple of minutes ago. Myers has got to match that effort.
And would get them within 11 points. Just holding up. He hasn't made the strike he would have liked there. Out of bounds on the full.
That's a long way off target. He's a nice kick too, but it's just a...
Well, can we sound like a broken record 3 times in a row, Roos? It's no coincidence. Centre clearance goal, centre clearance goal, centre clearance goal.
Yeah, no, look, they're so crucial here.
It puts the defence under pressure straight away. That's just a clean tap to Jack, long kick. You've got one-on-ones everywhere, and 3 tools allow the ball to get over the back, and that's a goal out of nothing.
Yeah, it was a goal out of nothing. Just where the Bomber defender was there. Was a Bagley there. But really smart thinking from Tom Mitchell, and that's why he was such a highly touted young player. He's got real good instincts for the ball and knows what to do when he gets it. 12 disposals, he's had 7 score involvements.
That's more than anyone else on the ground, Rosie.
And he came on as a sub.
Yeah, how about that? McGlynn into the 50. It's at the 29 points. And the Swans look hungry for more at the moment. Storming forward. He's had another kick at goal. And this one misses.
Well, it's just come from relentless pressure, but very clear stoppage wins. And the Bombers have just got to have the mindset, okay, yep, the 30-point margin's opened up, but we can reel that in just as quickly if we just get a couple of clear stoppage wins and use the ball better going forward.
Mocking Bellchambers.
See Ted Richards floating back.
Stanton, Cremery up the ground, and good pressure is a constant.
I just want to go back to that free kick we saw about 5 minutes ago. The player comes sliding in, and now if Jared McVeigh doesn't hurdle, he gets his legs smashed into. So I'm glad the umpire paid that free kick.
Well, I don't disagree, but can you actually get a free kick without contact?
That's it.
There's no contact, though.
I know, but should he have to risk getting a broken leg
but what is the
get
rule?
the free kick?
I think the rule is contact, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an
so there's
interesting
no. That's actually not a rule. Under my understanding, forceful contact.
Well,
I completely agree with what you're saying.
I like the interpretation of the umpire, but you're right. I think maybe a technicality that says it's not a free kick.
Canterbury has been restricted to just 10 disposals today. Takes it from half back. Hocking doing a good job on him, as he so often does. To half forward. Couple of bites to pay that one. It's a big Mumford.
Yeah, they've got Goddard back very quickly as a loose defender, the Bombers.
Jetta's deep. If it happens to come off hands, he puts it in his direction. The back of the pack. Bolton went for the one-hander. He lays the big tackle. O'Keefe, fresh from 14 tackles last week.
Hello, it's no coincidence. We saw Adam Goodes pull his kick moments ago. We just saw Mumford do it.
Yep.
What was clever about it was he kept it away from Goddard. He kept it away from where they were outnumbered. And again, it doesn't matter who, but kick it to a one-on-one contest.
Ryder to ground. Parker, it's vacant there again in the goal square, which I know you've got to watch your man, but it seems on a wet day to have a vacant square, it's very dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous, but Goddard's an interesting one. I mean, we've talked a lot about sort of Stanton tonight, and Watson we know is developed into an absolute star. This is a night you'd love to see Brendan Goddard just stand up.
Well,
go forward of centre, kick a couple of goals. There's that open goal square.
And Mitchell set up another one, and Goodes has finished it off. There's going to be a conversation here, but I'm pretty sure that's a goal.
Yeah. Goal line review, we suspect.
Unless he thinks it's...
Oh, what part of the body did it hit him above the knee?
I think it's a goal.
But once again, Mitchell's had an impact on this score.
Anywhere below the knee is okay, so that's fine. That's come off the inside of the shin. That is fine.
And fine and dandy for Adam Goodes. It's his third goal.
Yep, no problems there.
Well, this is just classic Swans football. It's a case of we're going to do what we do well over and over and over and over again. And if you can stop us, good luck. And at this stage, you'd have to say that the Bombers haven't been able to stop it. Open goal square again. Handball from Mitchell. Classic Sydney Swans football. And as much as you can plan for it, and I'm sure they would. Where's Brendan Goddard there? Just lets him go through. I mentioned Goddard then. He's the one that needs to stand up in that case, make a tackle, and stop Adam from kicking a goal.
Well, the Bombers are the best team at scoring from turnovers. Sydney, one of the best at scoring from stoppages, and they're doing it very, very well tonight. The disappointing thing in that goal, I reckon, was that it went through Brendan Goddard, who was the loose behind the footy.
Well, we've talked all about the impact Kurt Tippett might have in the back half of the season, but what about the debut of Tom Mitchell for the Swans? Quick kick in forward from Cremery. Here's an opportunity for Bellchambers. Tried his hardest to get it to the boot. And again, all hands on deck back there. We're going to have a bounce. Maybe the conditions suit him a little bit roozy, but tell you what, what an impact.
14 disposals. Look, he's very clean. We've seen what he can do. He's very clean with the ball. He doesn't fumble.
9 score involvements. It's astonishing numbers.
Probably a chance of keeping his spot for next week, you'd think, Hutto?
I think he might just sneak in somewhere there.
Rough hope.
Just as Goods takes that over the line on the wing.
But it's one of those we've been talking about. We know it's been coming. He's an extremely talented young player. It's just a matter of getting the continuity in his training, in his playing, getting his body right, working on a couple of little areas that the Sydney coaches wanted him to work on, and hasn't the patience paid off?
Even this year's pre-season was restricted a bit by injury, Roosie. You'll know the details of that, but he's really been up and running for only just over a month and actually playing footy.
Yeah, he has. He's probably played 4 or 5 games, or full games, 4 full games. And look, he obviously was getting a bit frustrated because he's seeing his ex-teammates getting games for GWS, the Giants. He was in that mix to go out there, chose to go farther son, getting a little bit frustrated. But I think we're seeing now the advantage of going to a club that's an established footy club. You get good teaching from Adam Goods and Ryan O'Keefe and Kieran Jack, and you come in, you play your role very well, and you can see him now. Benny McGlynn talking to him, telling him where to go around a stoppage, and all of a sudden you come in and you slot straight in the team, 14 possessions, and you look like you've been out there for many years.
Well, his body size too, it looks well suited already, doesn't it, to AFL footy. Hanbury and the Swans hunting in numbers again and surging forward again. McGlynn with it, just a slight fumble. Mitchell laying a big tackle. He's hungry for more. Jetta of the Bombers back to the middle. Rampy versus Stanton, engaged illegally. Free kick to Stanton. It does give the Bombers time though. Stanton has to go and get his own footy.
Well, someone needs to go and stand the mark though. Otherwise he'll just play on. And it's Hanbury that comes across to do that.
The call for a long, but it's not anywhere near there.
Terrible kick.
And he can do it at both ends.
Well, we had a discussion with Dustin Fletcher after that too. He might have just suggested perhaps that's not where we want to kick the footy.
Jetta.
They're taking some time off the clock here, Hutto, because the clock says it's over 30 minutes of football, but there's 5.5 minutes to go because of the stretcher. I'm not sure the Swans players know that yet.
Ooh, that hurt Stanton. Split him down the middle. You see in the bottom right screen, he's taken a while to get up, but he is now back into it again.
Adam Goods is coming off. I reckon he just copped one high there. Might have copped one right in the head.
McGlynn takes it over the line. Everyone wants to go off.
Copped one in the eye, I think. See the doctor with him there, might have got a poke in the left eye.
So Sydney, with a devastating third quarter, has taken a 36-point lead here at the SCG. Adam Goods cops one and goes off for some respite, but he's been terrific since quarter time. McVeigh, the Bombers now getting in each other's road. Good desperation for the footy. Scrappy affair.
See, when they tackle with a purpose, Sydney, don't they? They just assault the player with the ball.
Yeah. It's interesting. I read somewhere this week that someone talked about the Swans' tackles versus their stoppages and said they tackle a lot because of stoppages. They actually have stoppages because they're such a good tackling team. So it's actually the other way around. They're a very, very good tackling team, and that's why they do have stoppages.
5 goals, 2 to 2-2 for the quarter for the Swans. Oh, he's handed it off casually. Nothing casual about what Winderlich had to experience. Morton helps to lock it in for the Swans. As King mentioned, it's going to be a very long quarter here. 32 minutes gone.
Yeah.
Heppel. So still time for the Bombers to come right back hard. Ryder, left foot kick. Just need a stroke of luck on one of those long kicks. Need to find a way to get a goal.
One of the problems for the Bombers, though, is as they're getting a little bit more desperate to try and make something happen, players getting sucked up to the contest, which is allowing Sydney to drop off, get players behind the footy in defence, and also allow them to set up for a slingshot going the other way.
Yeah, you just continue to get more and more frustrated because you're right, you start to take some more risks. And we can see even now, if we look at the ground, you can see how open the Swans forward line is. So if you get a Lewis Jetta who can run past some of the... There it is there. You can see Lewis Jetta just left the screen. And that's where the Bombers have got to be really careful. I'd rather see the last Bomber player backward of the centre circle, Jace, not get sucked right up there. I'd rather see, it's probably not Stanton, I reckon it's Bagley just behind him or Hooker. I'd rather see them defensive side of the centre circle. So there's no opportunity whatsoever for Jetta to run past them.
Mumford to McVeigh, heaves it high and very wide.
When was the last time he kicked 2 out on the full in a quarter?
It wouldn't happen very often.
Just to let you know, there is some technical difficulties, so we're not receiving the feed from the official timekeepers at the moment. So it is very late in the quarter, 33.5 minutes, but still a few minutes to go. So still time for the Bombers, time for Goddard to salute. King runs hard. Gives them a target on the way out. Won't be an easy mark though. Richards came from the other side, had the big impact, and they've got it through. Malcheski to Kennedy.
Again, that comes back to Ted Richards leading his opponent to go and effect a spoil. Now, I was a little bit lucky in the end because I thought he was going to punch the ball about 10 rows deep. In actual fact, it spilled back infield, but what it did do was bring it to ground, which allowed his teammate then to pick it up, take the ball forward, and now we've got Josh Kennedy having a shot, and he's pretty deadly from this sort of range.
Further bad news for the Bombers down here. Jeddah has made his way to the bench and getting that ankle worked on, which we saw from that smother on the wing out here.
So Kennedy, he's done enough, he's steered it through, and the Swans
now long down the middle.
That's the mantra. Bellchambers climbed high and early. Good persistence, Kennedy. Critical minutes ticking by here. 12 to go. Hammered forward, Everett. There's plenty on that kick. And the desperate lunge this time. A helpless one from Hibbard. It's a goal.
Well, you take a risk when you go long down the middle if you don't get numbers there, and Sydney are the best at stoppages. And again, they mocked it up, tried the hand pass out the back, and it was a pretty good effort. You can just have a look here. It's okay to go long down the middle. They got the contest, but Sydney have got the first 4 or 5 players around the drop of the footy. And then look at Everett standing out the back. No one's minding him. Feed it out the back, and a one-step torpedo mongrel punt gets the job done.
Down to Kingy.
Yeah, Bird's just come from the field. He just got his forearm locked underneath that last scrimmage at centre-half forward for the Swans. Some sort of elbow, possibly a dislocation.
Watson comes again. Stanton couldn't quite take it. Now Everett feeling the heat at the other end of the ground. Off the ground goes Rampy. And fortuitously goes straight to Kennedy, who marks and aims it up through the middle of the ground. He's kicked it long to Jeddah. He was in his sights from a mile off. Jeddah comes and they put the pressure on. Oh, brilliant decision. Brilliant decision from Jeddah. And the goal kick by McGlynn. Oh, that hurts.
What about the vision of Joey Kennedy? Look, when he first played on in that direction, you thought, where's he going? There's nothing but space. And Sydney didn't have players closest to the footy, but he backed the run. He backed the run of a number of players. He had Jack coming from one direction and Jeddah from the other, 2 of the fastest players out there. And they got there first, moved the ball forward to McGlynn. He does the icing on the cake. Gee, that's clever. That is really clever transition.
Yeah, it was a great kick, and again, just that slingshot footy, as Kingy's mentioned a couple of times tonight. They'll get you every single time. Lewis Jeddah's the one, and just that slight slower reaction that we see from the Bombers and we do see on the defensive side to the Swans. And it's only a split second, but that's what makes the difference at the end of the game.
What a team they are, the Swans. Goddard, penetration on the kick. Making life a little difficult for the Sydney defence.
You know, there's a lot of ways to stop momentum, but there's nothing better than just kicking a couple of goals to hold everything.
Grundy had a big load to carry that time. Great pressure from Grundy. Goes back into defence, knowing that the Swans are now protecting a 32-point lead. So the Bombers can't afford to make a mistake from here. Could have been some high contact there on Melksham. Not seeing that there was.
Just saw Jude Bolton in the bottom there. He's been very quiet tonight, just the 10 possessions. Always works hard and he's endeavouring to get to the right spots, but it's just hasn't really happened for him.
Well, he was one of the great mud runners at his best. Brucey, Jude Bolton.
Yeah, definitely love those conditions. I think Jude's now happy to play as that half forward, and then if the team's in trouble, they'll throw him in the middle of the ground, and he's still capable of getting good numbers in the midfield, but predominantly playing now as a forward.
Terrific teamwork by the Bombers. It was all hands, and then down to Winderley. So you know the urgency of this. He wanted the pass. Almost played on there. Umpire still lining him up.
His teammates telling him to go back and kick the goal. Think your way through it.
1 goal, 1 for Windley.
Now it's play on.
Didn't at any stage look confident. And it showed.
And a mark.
It looked like it, wasn't it? He hasn't called it. Did he pay it?
I think he's getting some advice from the goal umpire.
Going for a score review to see if it hit the post or if it was a mark, I guess.
I believe it was. It's not.
Now he's very confident. He's very confident, Carlo, that he's marked this. So he gets the first grab, then the ball comes down.
You would come around here, please.
That's a mark.
Come around
That's
here.
a mark all day.
Because the mark's right here. The mark's right
What are we
here.
reviewing?
I don't know.
Back on your line.
It's just as clean a mark as you'll
Wait.
ever see.
Thank you.
He squeezed the air out of the ball with the second grab.
It's a mark.
Umpire must have thought it hit the post because you can't have a mark review. He's obviously going for a score review.
Well, he must have just not seen it, really. Carlisle comes around, puts it through.
Well coached again tonight, John Longmire and the coaching staff of the Sydney Swans. I thought the game last week against Collingwood, they got a lot of what they wanted, and they did that again tonight against the Bombers. So it was super disciplined performance. And here it is again, just a quick kick. Mike Pike.
Call it, Roosie.
Well, I'm going all Australian ruckman for Pikey this year, Joe. And can you mount an argument against him or not?
It's tough. It's tough. Look,
Leading contested marks, hitting to advantage, doing everything it's done.
and he's been kicking goals
and kicking goals.
Yeah, this is really, really good. I'm not quite sure how he gets out the back here without an opponent. I think caught napping the Bombers' defence, but
well, I think again, it just shows you they're such a discipline. Yeah, just a disciplined team. They'll keep doing what they do right till the end of the game. And again, a clearance there out of the stoppages. And their scores from stoppage have been fantastic tonight. Mike Pike has worked tirelessly. Mumford and Pike have been very, very good tonight. Top 10 contested marks, 26. Mike Pike, the Canadian rugby player.
and he hasn't taken any contested
None
marks
tonight. No.
He's definitely the #1 ruckman in the Canadian team, Roosie. We know that. In the country of origin.
The All Canada team.
Up to full forward again. Bolton hungry for more.
Unless they find a way to score in the last minute and a half.
Mitchell might get a chance here.
It could be the Bombers' lowest score of the season. Now, a lot of that is to do with the conditions, but they're also up against a very stingy defence.
Well, I think what James would be more worried about is defensively. To let 16 goals in these conditions, particularly the second half when it's opened up. And there's the half-backs again.
Right at 17, Roosie.
Yeah, Malcheski and McVeigh have been the two stars of the game for me. I know Kennedy has had 37 disposals. But
hasn't that crept up on you? 37?
37 has, but I think tactically the fact that they've allowed Essendon, have allowed McVeigh and Malcheski to do as they've liked the whole game. That's Malcheski's second goal for the game. McVeigh there, great ball user, great decision maker, and Malcheski who's having probably his best season in AFL football.